Yo, what up, guys? And finally got the camera back, so gonna be doing some new stuff. You might see a change of scenery. Whatever. So this time, if you see my fleshgod Apocalypse review of Mafia, we're gonna be doing another one. This time for Agony. Now, as I said in my last video, fleshgod Apocalypse is one of the new bands on the scene as far as death metal goes. They are a technical death metal band. And they come from Italy. And they first started out with oracles, which created a buzz for them. Soon after that came the Mafia EP, which brought them up to greater popularity. So their newest album came out last year is Agony. I know I'm pretty late with this review, but whatever. So what can be said about Agony that separates it from the other fleshgod Apocalypse releases? Well, it's the first album to include a full-time keyboardist. I forget his name though. Um, it's refined in its purity of hardcore death metal. And I'm using the term hardcore very loosely, just to describe it pretty quick. And as far as releases gone by this band, by all the releases, this is fantastic. Absolute brutality, yet a little hint of beauty. So let's dig into it. Agony. This is a 10-track affair. And it kind of runs like a concept album. You can look at it from like the song titles and how it progresses. But for me, I'm not going to separate each song, but this is a really strong release. It kind of has that concept album values to it. So Agony, how does it stand out from other fleshgod Apocalypse releases? The first thing you're going to notice is the sound, the brutality. An already brutal band like fleshgod Apocalypse is upgraded by tenfold. They've changed a slight bit in this release, but the Agony is really still there. The drums are fantastic in this album. If you love Mafia Oracles, you're going to love the drums in here. They're twice as intense. There are some interesting moments where they don't sound as much death metal, it's more just brutal. The guitars in this are fantastic as well. You know, they really stepped up their game in this as far as guitar work. Some really great moments on this album. Solo wise, there's some really special moments. Agony would, the Violation would definitely be one. Also, the Egoism with the guitar solos, they're really nice. Probably the biggest change in this album is the use of, now they're coining the term symphonic death metal, which if you listen to symphonic black metal, you'll catch my drift. But that's the best way to explain this album because it has all the brutality of death metal. You know, Dying Fetus at the Gates, Cannibal Corpse, Carcass, the early works particularly. You got all those placed in there, but then you have a strong symphonic like orchestra element coming from the keyboardist, which really adds a nice layer of sound. Production wise, this album is very very well produced. Every element shines. Nothing is really underpowered at all. And clean vocals are still in the album. They've improved greatly, though they're still a little weak or annoying. They're just there for, they could have been better. Could have been a real part of the music. But the symphonic elements really do, the symphonic and clean elements do add a nice touch to separate them from all the other technical death metal bands out there like Obscura and Origin. Standouts. Definitely the Violation. Of course, was the first peak we got at this album. It's always been, it's kind of highly regarded as the best track off this album because you got those great symphonic elements coming through, that brutality that hits you like that as soon as you turn on the song. You're going to get that throughout the whole album, and there are the clean vocals in this, and they are one of the few instances where I think they really do add to the music. Solo in the song is fantastic, a little emotional, very melodic, and then you close the song out on just an epic note, just like that, hard stop. Another one would definitely be the song right after it, the Egoism. Fantastic song for, it's a little bit different, it's not really slow, but it's just got more of a groove sense to it, especially with the guitars. Again, symphonic elements show strongly in this thing, but that's one of the problems as well. Now I'm going to go into the negatives. From the negatives, the symphonic elements do overpower the guitars. In some instances, the guitar and bass particularly. Uh, Prime example actually be the violation during the chorus. It's kind of hard to actually hear the guitars because they're kind of almost droning a little bit in the background because the symphonic is so strong with the orchestral elements. Another thing, while this is a fantastic album, it's death metal, and death metal is often regarded as being way too repetitive with some band because you're gonna notice that after a while certain songs sound the same. Like right after the first three songs, you're going, "Didn't I just hear this? Isn't this the same idea they rolled with the last song?" But you're not gonna find a lot of those because you're probably gonna be banging your head too hard. Uh, and again, the vocals, the clean vocals, do get a little annoying because they're just kind of there for the purpose of being there. It's like, oh, we got clean vocals and brutal death metal, but yeah, but that's not really a big issue. Overall, this album has very few flaws, if any. There's just certain times where it gets a little bit repetitive, and there are some elements that don't quite work or overpower one element. But so far, this is a fantastic album. Can't wait to hear more from this band and hopefully see them one day. Oh, and if you got the special edition, came with a cover of Carcass's artwork. Very good cover. You know, they've always released solid covers, and Carcass is definitely a band that should be covered more because I feel they're a little bit underrated for the creation of death metal and the gore grind and all that stuff. But overall, fantastic album. Can't wait to hear more. So, peace. Keep it metal.